Drue Locke's legendary Mizzou career came to an end in heartbreaking fashion at the Liberty Bowl. But if you step back and look at the numbers, he's been historically great. Locke's second all-time in Mizzou in passing yards and pass touchdowns. He's actually also second in SEC history in passing yards. Despite getting stopped on 4th and 1 with the game on the line, Locke was fantastic in his last game as a Tiger with 373 passing yards and 3 touchdowns. He's a likely first-round NFL pick. But before that, here's Locke on his time at Mizzou.
I know it wasn't always the smoothest ride, but again, I was like, for those of you who stuck by us, thank you for sticking by us and keep pressing this team on. This team, we have a really, really good team. It's going to keep getting better every single year because of this man sitting here next to me. And again, you all mean the world to me. I appreciate it and wouldn't change a second of what went down here.
He's changed Mizzou football in a lot of ways, all positive. And I know this, that Andy and Laura Locke have done a heck of a job raising a young man, and he's as Mizzou of a guy as you could be.
Clemson transfer Kelly Bryant will take over a QB next year. Along with Locke, the Mizzou offense will lose receiver Emmanuel Hall and 2 starters from the offensive line, but all 3 running backs will be back next season. More college football, 5 bowl games today. Let's start with Georgia and Texas in the Sugar Bowl. The pregame meeting between the mascots didn't go so well. Looks like Bevo didn't like Uga, who got away before any damage can be done. The Georgia mascot survived, but the Longhorns put a hurting on Georgia early in this game. Sam Ehlinger on the QB keeper, 7-0 Texas. He was just getting started. A sloppy game for Georgia is here. DeAndre Swift fumbles. That sets up Texas inside the red zone. First play of the second quarter, Ehlinger eludes the rush and runs past the Georgia defense right here for his second rushing touchdown, 17-0 Texas. Georgia would finally get on the board, though, hit Jake Fromm to a wide-open Brian Harrion for a 19-yard touchdown, but Texas still leading 27 early in the fourth quarter. Before that was Ohio State and Washington in the Rose Bowl, and Urban Meyer's last game was Ohio State's coach. All Buckeyes early, Dwayne Haskins to a wide-open Paris Campbell for a 12-yard touchdown, 7-0 Ohio State in the second quarter. More Haskins, this time he hits Johnny Dixon for a 19-yard score, 14-3 Buckeyes. Remember when Patrick Mahomes got the 50 TD passes in the NFL? Well, Haskins does it at the college level, as here's number 50, Ohio State up 21-3 at the half. Washington would mount the comeback, as here's one of my favorite plays in sports. The jump pass on the goal line, nicely done by Myles Gaskin. Ohio State up 28-23, less than a minute left. Onside kick time for Washington, and the Buckeyes recover. Meyer goes out with the win in his last game at Ohio State. More football, UCF and former Mizzou offensive coordinator Josh Heupel playing LSU in the Fiesta Bowl. Second quarter, UCF up 14-10, but Joe Burrow hits Derek Dillon, who breaks a tackle, and down the sideline he goes for a 49-yard touchdown and a 17-14 lead. 24-14 Tigers now late in the first half, and Dario Mack Jr. with a dime. Look at this placement for a 32-yard touchdown. Interesting note, because of injuries, UCF without its normal starting QB and LSU missing several cornerbacks. The Tigers took control in the third quarter. Burrow with a deep ball for his 4th touchdown pass. LSU wins 40-32. UCF's 25-game winning streak is over, and so is any claim to a national title. More SEC bowl games. 14th-ranked Kentucky taking on number 12 Penn State in the Citrus Bowl. First quarter, Penn State punt. Mizzou fans look away. You might remember Lynn Bowden Jr. with the big punt return against the Tigers. Well, he's at it again. Look at this speed, a 58-yard touchdown, 10-0 Wildcats. Third quarter now, 10-7 Kentucky, and it's Benny Snell Jr. with the 2-yard score. He had 144 rushing yards. And here's his second rushing touchdown right up the middle to make it 27-7 Kentucky. The Wildcats win 27-24. It's Kentucky's first 10-win season since 1977. And finally, 18th-ranked Mississippi State took on Iowa in the Outback Bowl. The Hawkeyes jumped out to a 17-6 lead, but the Bulldogs would rally. Nick Fitzgerald doing what he does best, run the ball. Look at him go, breaking tackles left and right, down the sideline, and he's in for a 33-yard touchdown. Mississippi State takes a 19-17 lead, but Iowa responds. Nate Stanley to Nick Easley for an 8-yard touchdown. Iowa takes the lead. Hawkeyes up 5 now. 30 seconds left. 4th and 5 for Mississippi State, and the pass is incomplete. Iowa wins 27-22. Moving on to hockey, it's no secret the Blues have had an awful season. St. Louis has the worst record in the NHL, but how about some good news to start 2019? As it's official today, St. Louis will host the 2020 NHL All-Star Game at the Enterprise Center. All-Star Weekend will take place from January 24th to the 26th. It's the third time St. Louis has hosted the NHL All-Star Game. The previous two were 1970 and 1988 at the St. Louis Arena. As for the Blues, they're back on the home ice Thursday night against the Capitals. To the NBA, Jefferson City's OG Anunoby and the Raptors taking on the Utah Jazz, who are coached by Quinn Snyder, a former Mizzou basketball coach. A quiet night for OG, but a great move here. OG in the lane with the up and under for the nice finish. Those were OG's only points. He didn't have to score much, though. MVP candidate Kawhi Leonard took care of that. Leonard with the jab fakes and the fancy reverse lay-in. He scored a career-high 45 points. The Raptors win 122-116. So pretty much full-on basketball from here. College football wrapping up.
Which is sad to me.
Yeah, I like football. I like basketball. I mean, it's great when we have the two of them together. Also busy for us, though.
Our producer just said in my ear that I should sing the Iowa Fight song again.
You want to sing it again?
I think we're good.
Are
I think
sure?
one time was enough. Yeah. But go Hawks. A recap of the forecast is next.